Good morning, folks. Trust we are doing good. Welcome to another webinar series that we've got for you all. I'm your host, Akinwale Chibike, and in this webinar series, we'll be talking about the 8-step trading checklist you need to have before you place your first trade in the financial markets. Okay, the 8-step trading checklist you need to have before you place your trade in the financial markets. Okay, good morning, Philip. How are we doing today? So in the previous classes we've been talking about how the markets work, how you should approach the markets, what to do in the markets. And after going through every single thing that we've discussed, I feel everyone should have an idea of a certain checklist you need to follow before you trade the financial markets. Okay, a certain checklist you need to follow before you trade the financial markets, and that is why we've set up this class. But before we hop into the main topic, which is the 8-step trading checklist, we'll be discussing what we offer you at Eagle Global Markets. We'll be discussing what we offer you at Eagle Global Markets. And I say, at Eagle Global Markets, we give you access to trade the global financial markets, okay? We give you access to trade the global financial markets. And when I say access to trade the global financial markets, I mean we give you the platform to trade the global financial markets. And we have three major platforms, which are the cloud trade, the MT4, and the copy trading platform, okay? The cloud trade, MT4, and the copy trading platform. The cloud trade platform is a platform where you can trade the global financial markets in Naira, okay? You can trade the global financial markets in Naira on the cloud trade platform, okay? You can trade global financial markets in Naira on the cloud trade platform. While on the MT4 platform, you can trade the global financial markets in dollars on the MT4 platform. You can trade the global financial markets in dollars on the MT4 platform, okay? And for the copy trading platform, it's the best platform for you as a trader if you work 9 to 5 or you are always busy doing one thing or the other. The best platform for you to hop on is the copy trading platform, because there we give you access to thousands of consistently profitable traders where you can copy their trade and make money without stress at all. Okay, it's just like the person is doing the work, you are copying the trades, and even copying the trades is an automated process. Okay, you copy the trade automatically. You just do a few settings on the platform and the trade starts copying, and you don't have anything to worry about at all. Okay, so those are the three major products we offer you at Global Markets, and there's a lot of products that we are launching very, very soon. And I'm sure once we launch those products, you'll find them very beneficial to you to start using to make money from the financial markets. Okay, so let's talk about what we discussed in the last webinar. Okay, can anyone remind me what we discussed in the last webinar? What was our last topic in the last webinar? What was our last topic? Our last topic in the last webinar. Can anyone remind me? The last topic in the last webinar. Let's talk about it before we hop into today's webinar. Okay. Anyone at all? What did we discuss in our last webinar? Wow, so no one remembers. Okay, so what we discussed in the last webinar was basically the best financial instruments to start with or to start trading as a beginner in the financial markets. Okay, and we talked about the assets and the asset classes. We said Forex, we discussed GBP USD, ER USD, CAD JPY. We said for indices, you could trade the NAS, US 30, the Dow. We said for metals, gold and oil, with silver, and also for stocks, we said you could trade any, just follow the current trend, such as the EV companies. You want to venture into trading stocks that are related to the EV companies. Okay, so those were the major things we discussed in the last webinar. We talked about how to approach them, the factors, the characteristics they must carry before you decide to choose that financial instrument as something you want to trade. Okay, we talked about all of that in the last webinar, and it was very, very amazing and interesting. So before we hop into today's session, if you've got any question at all pertaining to the financial market, or you have something you want to discuss, a question you want to ask, please drop your question in the question section. For conversations, please drop a chat. And I do send out polls regularly. So you could please do well to respond to the polls. I'll be dropping one right now. And yep, I'll be dropping the poll right now. Please, let's respond to it. Okay, great. I just sent out the poll. Let's respond to it. Thank you. So before we hop on today's webinar, we're talking about the 8-step trading checklist. And in your own term, what do you think a trading checklist is? Okay, what do you think a trading checklist is? In your own word, your idea, what do you think a trading checklist is? What do you think a trading checklist is? And also, I sent out a poll. Please, let's respond to it. Thank you. What do you think a trading checklist is? What do you think a trading checklist is? What do you understand by the word checklist? And just definition of trading, it's like a compound word. You just have to mash them up together and get the definition. What do you think a trading checklist is? Waiting for responses. Okay, I can see Philip is trying to drop something in the chat box. We're waiting for that. Okay. So Philip says what you should look at before going into the markets. That's top notch. Okay, that's top notch. Brilliant stuff from Philip right there. Anybody else wants to give us an idea of what they think a trading checklist is before we hop into the session? What do you think a trading checklist is? Okay, Moti says a plan with a list of things we need to fulfill, or to say you're ready when you want to enter a trade. Okay, yes, that's on point also. That's on point also. Anybody else before I'll just take one more person, and we hop into today's session discussing it in detail. Okay, so things you look out for before going into the markets: a plan with a list of things you need to fulfill before you enter a trade. That's brilliant. Anyone else willing to share what they think a trading checklist is? Okay. So in this session, you'll learn a trading checklist. Okay. What is a trading checklist? Questions in your checklist, then conclusion. Okay. Those are the three. Okay, list of things you need to know before trading. Brilliant, John. Brilliant stuff from John. Okay. So in this session, you learn everything about a checklist. What is a trading checklist? Questions you'd find in your checklist, and conclusion, okay, of what your checklist should be structured about, what your checklist should be about. Now, before I give a definition of a checklist, I like to use a life example. Okay, so I'll not be using a car today. I'll be using a shopping mall list. Okay, a shopping list. Now, before you leave home to wherever it is you get your groceries from, there's always this list you have which contains every single thing you need to buy, every single thing you're looking for at the store. there's that list you have, and you always have a pen with you, right? That list is your checklist. Okay, that list is your checklist. Once you purchase an item on that list, you put a mark sign in front of it or a star in front of it. That list is what you're looking for. When you've achieved what you're looking for, you put a tick or a star on it to show that, okay, this task has been done, or this item I'm looking for, I found it, I've bought it, and I've kept it in my trolley. Okay, so that is just a basic example or a life example of what a checklist is. Let's use a car in this instance. Before you get into your car in the morning, before going to work, there are things you always do. You check the oil, you check the engine to see if something is wrong with the car. You try to see if the brakes are working. Those are like the things you do before kickstarting the car. So kickstarting the car is basically entering a trade. The things you do is looking for the conditions of that trade. Do we all understand? Just from the life example I used right now, do we all understand what a checklist is? Okay, not a checklist in the financial market this time, but do we all understand what a checklist is just from what I explained? Yes or no? I'd like to get a lot of response. Do we all understand what a checklist is? Yes or no? Great. Now, what is a trading checklist? What is a trading checklist? A trading checklist is a set of process you need to confirm before you place your trade. Okay, now it is different from a trading plan. I know people make these mistakes a lot. It is different from a trading plan. A trading plan deals with the big picture. Okay, a trading plan deals with the big picture. Like, for example, now the market you are trading, the analytical approach you choose to follow. But when we talk about a checklist, it just presents you with a list of vital information that you need to attend to before executing a trade. Okay, so a checklist is a list of vital information you need to attend to as a trader before placing a trade. That is what a trading checklist is. Same example with the car. The list of vital things you need to check: the oil, the radiator, the brakes. If those are the list of vital things, because if you're driving and your brake isn't working, there is a problem. If you go to a store and you can't find a huge amount of those things on your list, there is an issue. Okay, so a trading checklist is basically list of vital questions, vital information, processes that you need to attend to before executing a trade. Do we all get the concept now? Do we all get the concept of what a trading checklist is? If you do, drop a yes in the chat box. If you don't, drop a no. I would go over it again. Okay, I will go over it again. Brilliant. Okay, we've got a lot of people saying that they understand. Now, there are questions in your checklist that you need that are very, very crucial. But before I go to those questions, I know you might be wondering, why do you need a checklist, and why when you have a trading plan? Okay, why do I need a checklist when I have a trading plan? Those kind of questions. I understand it might seem you are trying to streamline your checklist rather than you are trying to streamline your trading plan rather than focusing on what your trading plan is saying. But the truth is, you need a checklist because, like I said earlier, it helps you stay disciplined. Okay, remember the checklist is like a mini trading plan, but it's a mini trading plan for execution of trades. Okay, I said the trading plan is the bigger picture. So it's a mini trading plan. It helps you stay disciplined. It helps you stick to your trading plan. It helps you build confidence. It helps you stay disciplined, stick to your trading plan, and helps you build confidence. Those are the three vital parts of having a checklist. And do not confuse it. I repeat, do not confuse it with a trading plan. The checklist focuses on every or each individual trade you're placing and the conditions that must be met before you pull the buy or the sell trigger. Okay? It helps you focus on every individual trade you are placing and make sure those conditions are met before the trade can be made. Now, you might be wondering, if the conditions are not met, what would you do? What would you do? Now, the conditions are very simple. If you have 8 conditions on your trading checklist, make sure at least 6 is met. At least or at most 6 is met, so that will still give you a bit of confidence to place that trade. Anything lesser than 6, you don't want to engage such trade. Do we all understand? Are we all following? Do we all understand? Are we all following? Great. Now, questions in your checklist. Questions that are crucial to be in your checklist, okay? Before entering a trade, you need to ask yourself the following questions. And the questions are on the screen. Is the market ranging or trending? Is the market approaching support or resistance? Is there a high probability setup? What is the risk to reward model? How much of my equity is at risk? Is there a financial report coming that will put my setup off track? Am I following my trading plan? Am I okay? The most crucial one is, am I okay with losing this trade? Now, let's deal with every question one after the other. Is the market trending or ranging? Or is the market ranging or trending? Now, you might have read in PDFs or books that don't trade a ranging market. Don't you always want to trade a trending market? The trend is your friend. This is your friend, and a lot of things. But truth be told, it's just a book. Okay. Now that book showcases experience from different traders. Okay, it showcases experience from different traders. There's no way to dispute that fact. But you shouldn't make a decision, but you should structure your decision in the financial market based on what those books are saying, not to firmly want to make the same decisions there. There are people that are comfortable with trading a ranging market. There are traders that are comfortable with trading a trending market. There are traders that are comfortable with trading both types of markets. You shouldn't limit yourself to one type. What if you don't find that type of market or that type of market condition at the moment in the market? Yes, you wait. Money is made in the waiting, because when your setup comes, you make a lot of money from it. But what if your setup isn't going to come? That means you have to opt for what is available. And as a trader, if you will be trading a trending market, you need to know which trend is strong and which trend is weak, and what is the direction of that trend. Those are the things you need to know. Those are the things you need to know. You need to understand which trend is strong and what is the direction of that trend. Now, once you understand the direction of the trend, you've taken the first step. If you are trading a trending market, But if you're trading a ranging market, you want to understand where price is bouncing between, because price always bounces between support and resistance. Then you want to consider, would you be selling at resistance or would you be buying at support? These are the first two questions, or the first question you need to ask yourself. This is the first question you need to ask yourself. Once you ask yourself this question, you are a step ahead of the market, because you've decided, or you've known, is it trending? Okay, this is how I want to approach it. Is it ranging? This is how I want to approach it. Once you've asked this question and you've been able to deduce your answer, once you've been able to deduce your answer, you are a step ahead of the markets. Now, the second question is, are we approaching support or resistance? Are we approaching support or resistance? Now, if you've not attended my session before, or if this is your first time, I've talked about support and resistance before. Okay? Now, support are areas in the market where you look for buying opportunities. Resistance are areas in the market where you look for selling opportunities. Now, price tends to respect. Okay? Price tends to respect support and resistance always. Price tends to respect support and resistance always, because these are areas where you want to be taking trade opportunities from. Now, once you've deduced if price is approaching resistance or support, you want to act based on the first question you asked. Are we ranging? If price is ranging, that means price is coming down to attack support. When it comes to support, you want to be looking for buying opportunities. Once you've deduced that we are ranging and price is coming back to support in that range, we want to approach that range with a buying opportunity. If price is trending, you want to know which trend we are in. We want to know which trend we are in. Now, if we're in an uptrend, price will be approaching resistance. Do you want to take a buy there? No. If we are in a downtrend, price is approaching support. Do you want to take a sell there? No. You want to wait for it to break and retest. This is the second crucial thing you need to understand. Once you've asked yourself this question and you've been able to deduce where price is approaching, you are a step ahead of the market again. Now, to the third question, is there a high probability setup? You've understood the trend. You've understood if price is coming to support or resistance. You want to look for a setup there. Now, what is a setup? A setup is just a trade idea. You've told yourself this is what you'll be looking for in the financial markets. Now, what is that setup? It could be a chart pattern. It could be to wait for a candlestick formation. It could be to wait for a break and retest. It could be anything you're looking for. It could be a total soup sell model, a total soup buy model. It could be whatever you've decided to trade. Now, once you've understood that this setup, is it there? If it is there, you want to look for more confluences to take that trade. What you want to do is, okay, this setup is there. I want to wait for price to go to this place before I buy. I want to wait for price to do this before I sell. Those are like when there is an high probability setup there. Once it is there, you engage. Once it is not there, you wait for it to form or not even show up at all. You don't need to be aggressive, okay? You need to be patient with price. Now, once you've deduced that, you want to ask yourself the next question. What is the risk to reward model? What is the risk to reward model? Now, risk to reward model is basically the amount you are willing to lose to the amount you are willing to gain. Now, being a successful trader, you want to make your risk small and you want to make your reward much, okay? Too much reward is not good, okay? The market can give you a lot of reward, but you want to have a certain reward you are looking for in the market, okay? You want to have a certain amount of reward you are willing to make, okay? So once you've been able to ask yourself, what is the risk to reward model? I use the risk to reward. My personal risk to reward model is 1 to 3. If I'm risking $1, I want to make $3. If I'm risking $10, I want to make $30. That is my risk to reward model. So now, if I've gone to the chart and I've seen this, I will look for where I feel if this trade gets there, it has invalidated the whole trade idea. That's where my risk will be. I'll look for if this trade goes here, I will make a lot of money. That's where my reward will be. And that's how I will set my risk to reward to 1 to 3 ratio. The next thing to ask yourself is, how much are you risking from your capital? How much are you risking from your equity? How much are you risking from your capital? How much are you risking from your equity? Now, many people still don't understand how to merge the risk to reward to how much they will be risking from their capital. Now, once you've realized you want to be risking 1, that 1 could be 1% of your trading account. Now, all you need to do is ask yourself, what is the 1% of my trading account? If you have a 50,000 naira account, ask yourself, what is 1% of my 50,000 naira account? If you have a 100,000 naira trading account, question is, how much is 1% of my 100,000 naira trading account? So you know how much of your equity you are putting at risk for just that one trade. That's how you get. Now, you've asked yourself 5 questions. Oh, sorry, 6 questions to be precise. 6 questions on how much of your equity you're putting at risk. The next thing to now ask yourself is there a financial report coming that will set your trade off track? Now, this is where most traders get it all wrong. This is the 6th question. This is where most traders get it all wrong. They ignore or they overlook financial reports that are coming out, such as NFP, CPI data, consumer interest, interest rate announcement. They ignore it because they feel it's going to go in the direction of the market. Now, it's wrong. Some of these financial instruments will just put all your analysis off the track and you end up losing money. Okay, so always take note of financial reports that are coming out, and you can find those financial reports at forexfactory.com. Okay, I'll drop the link in the chat box, forexfactory.com. Find it there, forexfactory.com. Also, I'll drop the link to calculating your risk to reward and how much you'll be risking. You can find it at myfxbook.com. Find it there also. How to calculate your risk to reward, how to calculate how much you'll be losing on a trade. You find it there also. Now, the next question to ask yourself is, are you following your trading plan? Now, after all of that, you now have to go to the bigger picture, which is your trading plan. You have to go to your bigger picture, which is your trading plan. Okay, you have to go to the bigger picture, which is your trading plan. Now, You are basically asking yourself, does this trade align with the bigger picture? Does this trade align with the bigger picture? Does this trade align with the bigger picture? It's just a simple answer. It's a yes or no question. Once you say yes, you're on the right track. Once you say no, there is no need to force that trade again because it doesn't align with the bigger picture. Then the next question you go to is, if this trade fails, am I okay with losing this trade? Will my emotions be in check? Will my psychology with the markets be in check? Once your answer is yes, go ahead and take the trade. Once your answer is no, there is no reason or there's no need for you to continue or try to force that trade. Once you say yes to the last two questions, go ahead with the trade. Once you say no, deviate from placing that trade because it's not useful losing your capital over what you already know you will lose part of your capital on. With all this mentioned, and you following the rules to the core, with every single thing I mentioned, and you follow it to the core, you are a step ahead of the market and you are a step closer to being consistently profitable in the financial markets. Now, let's conclude on everything we've discussed, and I'll show you an example of this on a real-time chart. Having a trading checklist does not, okay, I want you to understand something. It gives you a step ahead of the market. Yes, it gives you idea of what the market will do. It gives you what the markets might be doing. It gives you all of that. Okay, it gives you all of that. But having a trading checklist, again, doesn't mean or doesn't automatically mean all trades will become winning trades. Okay, it doesn't mean you will be winning every of your trade. You make profit from every of your trade. Losses are inevitable, but the idea of this trading checklist and a trading plan is to keep the losses minimal. Keeps the losses minimal. It will help you stick to your trading plan and become more consistent. It will help you majorly avoid impulsive or reckless trades. Okay, that's what it's going to do. That's just the major conclusion there. And it helps you document your trades and stay accountable. Now, I see a lot of people saying, I lost the trade because of the market was against me. The market was not against you. The market was not against you. Okay? The market was not against you. It's never against you. You just need to be accountable for every trade you are taking. You need to be accountable for every single trade you take in the financial market. Once you are accountable, you understand that the market is never against you. You are the one doing what is not meant to be done. That brings us to the end of today's webinar. Now, I'm open to take questions now. Please do ask your question and please do respond to the polls I just sent out. Okay, please do respond to the polls and please do ask your question. I'm open to taking questions. Just drop your question either in the chat box or in the question section. I gladly answer your question. And also, please do respond to the poll. So let me share my screen and show you an example of what I mean by all of this. Now, I'll just share my screen. Okay, a minute, I'll share my screen. Please do ask your questions if you've got questions. I'll share my screen right now and show you an example of what I mean. Okay. Now, in some scenarios, okay, let me make this clear. In some scenarios, you won't be able to have the proper answer to these questions. Now, this is where we now come into the aggressive aspect. Okay, in some scenarios you won't have the proper answer to some of these questions, so you might start getting aggressive on trades, and it's fine. It's okay to get aggressive on trade. Just know that if you are getting aggressive on trade, you are going to be risking a certain amount. Now let's look at USD CAD. The first question is USD CAD trending or ranging? Okay, we are trending on USD CAD because we've created a high, a low, a higher high, and a higher low. We'll be creating a higher high soon. We've marked the first question on the checklist. We are a step ahead in the checklist. Now, the second question is USD CAD approaching support or resistance? All I need to do is put up my line, and yes, this is resistance right there. Okay, so USD CAD is approaching resistance. USD CAD approaching resistance, all I'm going to do is not place a buy trade, okay? And I'm not going to place a sell trade. The reason is I'm in an uptrend, okay? We are moving in an uptrend. We are moving in an uptrend. An uptrend. Price will continue going up, but there will be breaks, okay? Breaks. When I talk about breaks, I'm saying time when price will move down, okay? I'm not willing to risk on placing a trade that price is going to move down. Rather, I'm going to wait for price to come down before I buy. So where is my support? This is going to be my support. This is resistance, resistance. Price broke it. This is support. This is resistance. So I'll be waiting for price to come back down. Before I look for buying opportunities. Now, this is a step ahead. If you have questions, please drop them in the question section. I would respond to it, okay? Morning, Ajus. Trust you're doing good. Once I figured this out, is there a high probability setup? Now, all I need to do is go down to a lower time frame. I go down to the 4-hour time frame, and I'm looking at how price is going to react. Now, looking at how price is already trading lower here. This is just telling me that if price comes here, I'll be looking for a high probability setup. That is another tick on my list for me. Now, what is the risk to reward model? If eventually price comes here, that circled area, I'll be risking, I'll be looking for buying opportunities here, and I'll be risking 1% of my account. My take profit will be at this high, yeah. So the risk to reward model is 1 to 6. 1% of my account to make 6% of my account. I'm okay with that risk to reward model. How much of my equity am I risking? 1% of my account. I don't know. 1% of your account or my account could be $50, $10. It depends on your account. Okay, it depends on how big or how small your account is. Some people, 1% of their account is $1. That means they'll be risking $1 to make $6. If 1% of my account is $60, that means I'll be risking $60 to make 6 times $60. Now, is there a financial report coming that will put my setup off track? I don't have an answer to this because price is not here yet. Okay, it's until price comes down here, I'll have to go and check forexfactory.com to see if there is a financial report that is coming out on the day price comes down here to see if it will continue going down or just go up. After that, am I following my trading plan? My answer is yes, I'm following my trading plan. Am I okay with losing this trade? Yes, because it's just 1% of my trading account. Only one question remains unanswered, and the setup is not ready. All I have to do now is to wait. Okay, because price is going to come down doesn't mean I have to trade price coming down. Okay, I know price has to go up. Okay, so what I'll be doing is waiting for price to go up, to come down before going up, And that just simplifies how a trading checklist works. Okay, so going through the question section now, and Philip says, how do one use the financial instrument and relate it to currency pairs? Okay, not only currency pairs, any financial instrument. Now, the financial news comes at any time once you've confirmed from forexfactory.com. Let's take, for instance, now, we are having in a news report by 1 o'clock for USD on unemployment claims. All I need to do is understand what unemployment claims is about. And basically, unemployment claim is basically the number of individuals who filed for unemployment insurance for the first time during the past week in the United States. That's what it means. Now, you need to understand, if there is no employment, the economy is not good. If there is employment, the economy is good. Now that there is no employment, you need to understand how many people are unemployed and how many people are employed. All you need to do is wait for the news reports. You see it from the values. They will give you a value. Some values are like 36,000 to 362,000. Some values are like 50,000. Depends on what the value is. Once you are able to deduce if the number of people that are filed for unemployment are small, it means the economy is good. If the number of people that are filed for unemployment are much, it means the economy is not doing well. So from there, you'll be able to deduce what is happening to that financial instrument and decide to place a trade. Philip, are we on the same path with that? Yes or no? So please, let's respond to the polls. Let's please respond to the polls, okay? Brilliant. Any other question? Any other question? Any other question, be it about our products, be it about today's session or what we've discussed previously in other session? And if you're not a client of Eagle Global Markets, kindly go to access.eagleglobalmarkets.com and sign up an account with us. Okay, kindly go to access@eagleglobalmarkets.com, sign up an account with us. Yes, all recordings are on our YouTube channel. All recordings are on our YouTube channel. Okay, all recordings are on our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is Eagle Global Markets Media. Okay, it's all on our YouTube channel. I'll drop the link to the YouTube channel for you right now, so you can gain access to all of our videos, all previous recordings. That's the link in the chat box. Do click on it to take you to our YouTube channel. Okay, so in the absence of no further question, we've come to the end of today's webinar. I remain your host, Akinwale Chibike, and good luck and good trading. It's not by coming to the sessions, it's by taking actions. Okay, take actions, implement all the things we've discussed today on your trading account, and I promise you would see an amazing growth in your trading level, in your capital, in your equity, and overall growth when you trade the financial market. Good luck and good trading.